Hello, second grade Smarties, and welcome to Lesson 6, Video 1 of iReady Math. So we have talked about word problems back in Lesson 2. So it's been a few weeks since we've talked about word problems, and that's when we use a story or sentences to help us figure out if we are adding, subtracting, or finding missing parts. So this week, we are going to use our knowledge of how to do word problems, how to add 3 parts, how to find missing parts to solve 2-step problems. So let's go ahead and get started. It says, you know how to solve 1-step word problems. Eve had 3 striped banners and 3 dotted banners. Then she made 7 white banners. How many banners does Eve have? So, as you can see, the person who created this lesson decided to give us a picture first to give us an idea of what this would look like. So, if we're solving a word problem, remember we talked about how we can underline important numbers and important words. And we can find clues to tell us if we're adding or subtracting or if we are trying to find a missing part. So as you can see, I underlined 3 for the 3 striped, 3 for the 3 dotted. Then she made 7 white banners. How many banners does Eve have now? So let's move on to A to see if we can learn some new strategies to solve this problem. It says, how many striped and dotted banners are there? Fill in the model at the right. So now we have a number bond, and it wants us to figure out what I had to gather with my striped and dotted banners before Eve made the 7 white banners. So she had 3 striped, right? And 3 dotted. How many colored banners did she have? 3 plus 3 is a doubles fact, and that makes 6. Great job. So now it wants us to write the equation. How many striped and dotted banners are there in all? So we had 3 striped, 3 dotted, 6 in all. So that was step 1. Now it wants us to think about how many white banners there are. How many white banners did she make? 7. So this is where our second step comes in. So think about last week when we were using arrays to add more than 2 parts together. We had to find the whole of 2 parts first before we can move on to another part. It says add white banners to the total in problem B. Fill in the model at the right to show this. So remember, in this one, we found how many striped and dotted banners there were together. How many were there? There were 6. And she also made 7 white banners. Now I can find my whole because I added 2 parts first and I took that whole to add it to my other part. So what is 6 plus 7? How can I figure that out? I know, I can draw, I can pound and count. I don't have enough fingers to add 6 plus 7, so I'm going to use my pound and count strategy. I'm going to start at 7 and count up 6 more. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So how many banners did Eve have in all? 13. So she had 6 striped and dotted, 7 white, and 13 banners altogether. All right, let's go on to find out more. It says the problem on the previous page is a 2-step problem. First, you added the striped and dotted banners. Then you added the white banners to the sum. Now look at this 2-step problem. Juan had 3 pink markers and 7 green markers. He lost 2 markers. How many markers does he have now? So step 1 is that we add the markers that he does have first, right? So he had 3 pink markers and 7 green markers. Together, that made 10. So this is where our second part comes in. So we have 10 altogether, but he lost 2. If I lose something, am I getting more or less? I'm getting less, right? So we had 10 altogether, but he lost 2. How many does he have now? Juan has 8 markers. So these two-step problems, we might have to add twice. We might have to add 2 parts and then subtract a part from our whole. So it's really important that we listen to that story problem, that word problem, more than once. All right, let's go on to our reflect. It says Suki has 17 grapes. I'm going to underline 17. She gave 8 grapes to her sister. Then she gave 3 grapes to her friend. Would you add or subtract to find how many grapes Suki has now? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read that story again because what the problem is asking me to figure out is if I'm adding or if I'm subtracting. Remember, adding means I'm getting more. Subtracting means I'm losing some. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw 17 grapes. Suki has 17 grapes. There's 10 plus 7 more. 4, 5, 6, 7. She gave 8 grapes to her sister. If I am giving something away, am I keeping them or losing them? I'm losing them, right? So I'm going to lose how many grapes does Suki give? She gives 8, so I'm going to cross out 8. Already I'm starting to notice that my whole is being split apart. So I had 17. Did I get more or did I lose grapes? I lost them, so that means I am subtracting. So I started with 17 grapes. Well, Suki started with 17 grapes. She gave 8 away. How many does she have left right now? So this is step 1. Well, I can look at my top 10 frame and notice that I have 9 grapes left. But I'm not done because then it says, then she gave 3 grapes to her friend. So now we have 9 grapes because she gave 8 away. But now she gives 3 more to her friend. So then she had 9. How many did she give to her friend? She gave 3 to her friend. How many does she have left? 6. I circled the part that was left. So in this word problem, did we add or subtract? What did we have to do? We had to subtract, right? Because we were losing some. We were breaking that whole into parts. We had to subtract to find how many grapes Suki had left. So friends, remember when we are reading word problems, we have to think about the clue words that it gives us. I knew that when I circled the word gave, if I give something to you, that means I don't have it anymore. That means I am losing something. When I subtract, I start with a big number. I start with one whole and then I take it apart. I give parts of that whole away and I have some left over. All right, second grade Smarties. So remember that this growth mindset that we talk about every day is so important, especially when we talk about math. Sometimes we have to use different strategies to solve our problems. Miss Mason had to draw a picture and write equations to help me figure out if I was adding or subtracting. All right, second grade Smarties, I can't wait to see your hard work. And remember, always keep that growth mindset because good learners do hard things. I will see you guys tomorrow.